Alright guys, can you believe it? Third episode and we've already got like a huge guest on the show. Well, I've only just started it like recently, well, relatively recently, but how about we just get into the guest right away? So why don't you introduce yourself, dude? What is your name and everything?
Sure. Hey, I'm Nick. I'm part-time Seagull. I created the Gaslight District from with Glitch Productions, and I'm excited to be here, man. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I bet it'll be fun. You're working for Glitch Productions and a show for them and all of that. It's pretty exciting. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. My first question is, how did you get into art and animation?
So kind of a boring story, but like I've been, like most people, I've been doing it since I was a kid and stuff, and it was super fun. Started with like stuff with like Gravity Falls when I learned that like, oh, this can actually be a job. Like you can actually do this for a living. It was kind of really exciting. Gravity Falls was like the first thing that kind of showed me that, and then I quickly discovered like a bunch of other like anime directors that I really liked, and I got really into like Imaishi stuff at Studio Trigger and like old Gainax, and that kind of showed me like, hey, this is really cool. So I went to a fine arts like college, no, a fine arts high school, sorry, where like I just got to like mess with anything and everything all day. It was pretty cool. And then I went to a fine arts 3D animation college over here in Montreal called Dawson. And the whole idea was that this was the only school around that offered a thesis film. So for 2 years, you do your like regular programs and stuff. You like learn like Maya, you learn how to storyboard, you learn everything, and like no, it's much more like a technical hands-on program. And then in your third year, you get to do your film, which was the whole reason I went there, and that was like incredible experience. I had a blast making that. It was like all my robot short films on YouTube, the cram and rebuild, and I had a lot of fun making those. And then afterwards I worked on music videos with some buddies from Philly, and we did a ton together. But I quickly realized that like I really wanted to make original animation, so I parted ways with them. We're on great terms. I still love those guys. And I started working with people on like Hell of a Boss and like Has Been, and doing 3D for them. But once again, it just wasn't giving me my itch. I loved working with them as well. And then I decided I'm gonna take a year off and just make a show idea and see what happens. And Glitch really loved it, so that was cool as hell. Yeah, I liked working with them. They were super cool. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was a very nice experience. I did if ever you see like the 3D scenes,
Wow.
that was my stuff. So
Cool.
quick now though, my partner took over. She's the one who does all that stuff for them, which is really nice.
Well, that's pretty cool. Well, my second question is, what motivated you to start an online career in animation?
I have been online forever. In high school, I really loved, what's his name? I loved Aaron, Aaron Hansen and stuff like that. I loved his work.
Oh, Ego Raptor.
Yeah, Ego Raptor. There we go. Oh my God, how did I forget his username? Yeah, I loved Ego Raptor as a kid.
Yeah, I used to watch him a lot back in the 2000s with his Metal Gear Awesome videos.
Ego Raptor was a huge influence of mine as a teenager. I used to love the Awesome series and all his stuff. Watching him grow and seeing his like evolution online was really cool. And then the more modern day like Worthy Kids is a huge inspiration. I love him. He's so funny. His stuff is really sick, and just seeing how much you can do online now is pretty exciting. Yeah. So I really wanted to just delve into it, like I did a lot of freelance for so many of these like bigger channels and stuff, and I kind of got more and more comfortable with the idea of like making stuff just myself, or like hiring people to help me with my ideas. And like I did a ton of concept art for like Ina and stuff like that, like Joel G and stuff. So like I love these guys. These guys are so cool, and they made it work. It's like, oh, why can't I? So I decided to take the plunge, and Glitch was very willing to work with me, which was really cool because I was planning on making it just myself with my friends. I had like a nice little budget that I was going to work with, and I was going to hire some buddies to help out, and we were all going to make like Gaslight together. But yeah, fortunate enough to have like Glitch support it and make it with their resources and team, and it's been a joy, and I'm excited to make more of this weird show.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that you're now in the top of the list alongside Gooseworks and Dana Terrence and their Glitch production.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting to hang out with them and talk with them too. They're like I'm a huge animation nerd, right? So like growing up with Gravity Falls, seeing Dana's, I've been a fan of Dana's work since I saw her scenes on Gravity Falls. Like there was something so captivating about the Ford introduction and stuff like that when I was a kid that I had to like hunt down who made that scene. And when I saw it was her, I got obsessed with her work. And then when she did Owl House, it was like, oh my god, okay, this is so exciting. So I've been following her for years, and to call her a buddy and a friend now is like very, very cool. And you know, we share stuff, and it's very nice. Gooseworks as well. Like I've loved her stuff forever. Like seeing her Kill la Kill covers. Yeah, she did like a remix of Kill la Kill and like 10, 15 years ago or whatever. And it was like, that was the coolest thing ever when I was in high school and stuff. So getting to talk to these people, even Liam as well with Cliffside and stuff. Like I've been following these guys for ages, you know, like it's very, very nice to be welcomed in the crew.
Yeah, Glitch creators are just so buddy with each other and stuff.
Yeah, it's really nice. We talk a lot and stuff, and we help each other out. Like Goose has helped me crack a few scenes. I've helped Goose crack a few scenes here and there. Dana and I share stuff all the time. It's really exciting. Yeah, it's nice. It's healthy. It's a good community and atmosphere.
Yeah, still crazy that you're friends with a creator of a Disney show.
Right? Isn't that weird? I still can't process that.
Neither can we. All right. My next question is, what was it like working on the Gaslight District for Glitch Productions?
It was interesting. I have a very specific style. I do like toon shaded 3D. That's for like my technical kind of like work and stuff, and that doesn't really work with Unreal Engine. Unreal doesn't have the capabilities to simulate what I was trying to make and stuff. If you'll go to my YouTube channel, you can see what Gaslight was originally going to look like, and it was like a toon shaded like 2D looking show. And when I joined Glitch, like it was very clear from the start that we were going to have to do a lot of R&D to figure out the like actual look of the show, because Glitch clearly has a look, and I had a very specific look, and they didn't exactly like cooperate at first, because a lot of the things that are needed for my toon shader look versus their like photo real thing, it was like kind of clashing. So it was interesting to like compromise on both ends, see where Glitch compromised with my vision and I compromised with mine, and we found this middle ground of like stylized 3D that isn't, you know, just another Spider-Verse or another like Arcane, but not photoreal, but not toon shader. And it was like, oh, we found this like middle ground of like, we discovered along the way, we made these things called proof of concepts, and we made 3 of them before the first trailer dropped. And I remember the first one looked a lot like my original stuff, but just photoreal. And it was like, this is working, but like it's missing the sauce, it's missing some sauce. And then along the second proof of concept, we discovered that maybe a stop motion look would be really interesting and like fun to play with, because like that has the stylization that I really wanted to explore. It can be photoreal. So there was like a really nice blend of like all the talent at Glitch and my brain just going like crazy mode, thinking of a billion fun ways to push it. So the style we ended up with, I think, was really, really challenging to get. But once we figured it out, we knew that it was like magic, and we were really, really, really excited. And from that point on, it became a lot easier because, you know, just we knew what it was going to look like. And then I know I was never really a painter. So all my previous stuff is like toon shading, like I said. So when I would do like drawovers or like style frames, it was really just like cell shaded like anime look or like cartoon. But this, I had to like kind of figure out how to learn how to paint to review a lot of this stuff, especially for like lighting. On the lighting side of like the episode for like the pilot and stuff, I had to paint a ton of like frames and stuff to get the look I wanted. And I must have painted like 400, 500 of these things, you know, just like a machine. And it really, I learned so much. I really like working at Glitch because I keep on learning more and more and more, and it's really just it's pretty nice.
Yeah,
pretty nice.
Yeah, I can imagine this is pretty nice working for Glitch.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool place to be.
Yeah, cool. The Gaslight District did kind of remind me of like a mix between Aardman and Tim Burton in terms of its art and animation. Like, I'm guessing that at least that Tim Burton might have inspired your art in some way, judging by the style and stuff.
Yeah, Tim Burton. I'd say if you asked me this before Gaslight came out, I'd be like, oh yeah, I like Tim Burton movies and stuff. Like I always enjoyed them and stuff, but I would have never called him like an influence. What's funny though about like inspiration and stuff is sometimes it's sneaky. Sometimes you don't realize that you're like totally in love with a style until you make something and go, wait, this actually kind of, you could take Mel and put her in Corpse Bride and you wouldn't bat an eye.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like, oh, you know, yeah, exactly. And I think that was just a happy accident because I think there's conscious influences and stuff. Like I'm constantly influenced by like Wes Anderson, by like Imaishi from like Studio Trigger and like Yoshinari and all these like anime guys and like cinema guys. And then you look at the art and you go, wait a second, I actually see a lot of like Tim Burton in here. I see a lot of like Laika, like Coraline and stuff. And it's like, that stuff snuck its way in, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah.
And now I call it an active influence.
Oh yeah, maybe it's also a bit of paranorman and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And these were what's funny about that is that these were movies I adored and loved as a kid, and then I grew up and was like, oh, okay, cool. Now I'm into like this other stuff. But like as a kid, I was so obsessed with Universal monster movies, like because of my dad and stuff, and that stuff totally snuck in to Gaslight. Like Ken is just like a Jason Voorhees type character. Like Breadhead's like a Frankenstein character. Mud is literally like Tarman from Return of the Living Dead. Like these things are so unconscious and stuff. You just, as you grow up and as you make stuff, you're watching so many things as you do it, and things you liked, even like little small things, sneak their way in everywhere along the way, and it's cool to see. So yes, Tim Burton is a huge influence of mine, and I love his animation work.
Yeah, I also love his animation work. I hope to see more of it in the future.
It'd be nice, but yeah, he's doing weird stuff right now. I'm not too sure what he's up to. I'd love to pick his brain one day. Like
Beetlejuice. Anyway, now my next question is, now that the Gaslight District has been greenlit, congratulations again, what can we expect from the Gaslight District?
Interesting question. I don't want to spoil too much.
You don't have to spoil,
but...
you don't have to spoil anything. You can like hint at some stuff, like like just.
I'm gonna
anything.
give some vibes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that'll do.
If people, I think you can expect two things that are the show's core to be pushed more and more. With episode 1, we had this like crazy just madness 24/7. Episode 2, 3, 4, and going forward slows down a little bit. We get to like sit in aspects of the world a lot, which is really exciting. The family drama side of the story becomes a huge focus, which is always what it was going to be, which is really cool that I'm like executing on it, and I'm really happy with how that's coming. And then gore, lots of crazy violence.
Yeah, go gore.
Those are the big gore, Army of Darkness styled like camp gore. and family drama. I think that's the biggest thing to expect. That's the core of the show. Scary B-movie monsters and family drama. That's what I love.
Yeah, that's what we all love. And I think my next question might be my last, but do you have future projects or ideas that you want to create after the Gaslight District?
110%. I have sketchbooks like Gaslight. I made that in high school. I have ideas that I started in college. I have ideas I started during my gap year. I have ideas I started in elementary school. I have sketchbooks on sketchbooks of ideas that I want to really execute on. And similar to some of my artistic idols and stuff, think of what you will about Tarantino. He's a character, but his work speaks for itself, and I want to have a long-lasting career kind of thing. I want to make a lot of shows and have a lot of fun exploring a bunch of ideas in genre. Horror isn't the only genre I want to explore. It's the genre I'm really interested in right now, and I'm having an absolute joy messing with it. But I'd love to mess around with what is a comedy from something. How would I go about making a comedy? How would I go about making a psychological thriller? I love genre, and I want to play with sci-fi. I want to play with, I'm probably going to do more horror along the way, but sci-fi stuff seems really interesting. My previous shorts are clearly a lot of clearly fixated on sci-fi, all my robot lo-fi stuff. I want to do a bunch of stuff. I just gotta get there, and I gotta eat what's in front of me right now, and that's Gaslight. I gotta finish my plate.
Yeah.
But yes, to answer the question, 100%. 100%.
100%. I can imagine.
Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine you working for maybe A24 or Neon in the future after the Gaslight.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, A24 I think is really cool because they just let you do weird stuff, and a lot of these directors I really enjoy, particularly these anime directors. They do a lot of weird shorts and stuff like that. That might be an interesting avenue. I don't know. I've got too many ideas and not enough time right now. That's kind of the struggle. That's the fun struggle.
Yeah, almost like a curse, but you gotta you gotta get past it and make it your fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any last messages for our viewers?
Yes. Keep supporting the show, please. I love when you guys support it and make stuff. I think keep making stuff. Don't worry if it'll do well or not. Just believe in the vision. Make the weird thing that you have in your head, and if it's not 100%, the next time it'll be a bit better, and the next time after that, I think people are too scared to be sincere and vulnerable with their work, and we gotta get past that. We need more interesting, weird, niche stories for people, and I support all that kind of stuff. And if people ever want to share ideas and stuff with each other, I think nothing should stop you. Keep making stuff.
Amen. That's a message that we can get behind. Just make what you want and don't worry about any obstacles in the way. You can get past that. Yeah. All right, guys. I think that'll be it for this episode of That Bunny Interviews. If there's any other creators that you want me to interview in the next episode, just leave them in the comments down below, and maybe I'll try and get them on the show next time. But until then, I'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.